Anyone need to refill on beer? Take a shit?
Justin, do you need to wipe your ass?
Yeah.
No, I'm good this time. I am gonna go grab a beer though.
Yeah.
I am gonna wipe my ass. Okay, so
You're too much of an anime character. The glasses have to come off. That or you're my stepdad and I need to bang you. I can't tell.
Damn. That's how it always starts. That's how these things always start.
All right. Go ahead, Daddy.
That's the fucking intro.
That is.
Go ahead, Daddy. Okay. Welcome to the Lesser Known People podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jay Money. I have with me my other host, KY Jelly, who's been trying to force Kyle the Caveman on us, but it's not taken. We've got Ryan the Lion, Big Cat, Connor, Conrad, Conman. He's got a lot of nicknames. And then Sean, the Magic Carpet Ride.
Swoosh.
Guys, I have one of my favorite people that I've ever done research on in front of me. And I think this is my favorite guy. And I've said this a lot about at least the last two ones that I've presented on. But I'm for real.
You say this every time.
When I find someone, I'm so intrigued by their stupid life that I get like obsessed with it and I follow the rabbit holes. And it's my own little like perversions, I guess.
His attic looks very much like you'd see a scene out of The Beautiful Mind where it's just walls with lots of newspaper clippings.
I was thinking more like Hellraiser. He's in the attic.
Or Hellraiser. Or Good, yeah. Good trade on those.
Real
two.
Creepy.
Definitely.
Real creepy. I always wonder, in those, like, do those guys go in to, like, Joanne Fabric and are like, yellow string, pink string, red string?
Yellow's the rapist,
pink
is the murderer, and blue is the robber. That's how I determine these strings out here. Yeah.
Okay, so Ryan's closer than the rest of us. Let's just acknowledge that.
He's
fact.
thought about this. He's put
Well, the thing is, guys, I just bought a duplex, and I have a lot of dead bodies in that basement. You know what I mean?
Already. Get them all moved over.
Already. I moved them over already. I asked my mom. I was like, Ellen, can you help me move some dead bodies?
She's got some dead body knowledge. She's dealt with dead bodies before.
A full Midwestern mom, though, like, okay, hon. Now, if you grab the feet, I guess we can get them. Yeah.
Well, do you need your
she's
car
stiff as a
need
board.
my car? Because my car's larger.
Well, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to turn those feet around, okay?
Okay, let's. Can we break her leg? Oh God, that's unkind, though. You know the way her body is.
We need to take a break.
We're jumping a little bit out of the Midwest accent. Good to stay in character, though, guys.
Yeah, we jumped way up north. We tend to do a real good northeastern accent, anyways.
Yeah, let's just stick Boston. We'll just do Boston, New York.
Actually, the guy I'm about to talk about was born and lived his life in Massachusetts. So I think we can get away with doing a couple of those accents tonight.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's a beaner.
Is that racist? Hang on now. What the fuck was that?
You mean Beantown?
Beantown. He's
That's
from
right.
Beantown.
Not Hispanic people.
Because as white guys, we can only be racist against white people. That's the rule.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I hate white people.
That is true. I do hate white people.
We have to hate white people now. World's going crazy.
I hated white people before it was cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true.
We got to bounce off the bottom.
We always got to
make sure we know where the bottom of this pool is right now. So
bounce back up.
That's
right. We hit a fucking rough spot early on.
Well, it was quick.
Okay, you get the bad parts out of the way early.
And then we didn't have enough. We didn't have a 2-hour drunken warm up, so now we're gonna.
Now we gotta. Yeah. We'll find it. We'll find it again. We'll find bottom again.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Beantown, we got this guy in Beantown.
All right. So this guy, Beantown. I'm not sure exactly where that's.
He's close enough to Beantown. All right.
All right. Yeah. Anyways, this guy, his name is Timothy Dexter. His name is Timothy Dexter. He was born in Malden, Massachusetts, in 1747. So before the Revolutionary War.
Wow.
He was born to a poor family of farmers. He actually left school at the age of 8 to become a permanent farmhand, which I guess was a thing back in the day. If I was 8 years old and I had the option to quit school to go do anything else, I'd be doing that.
Farmhand immediately.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go milk cows? Fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like,
Can you get me out of fucking multiplication? Here we go.
Yeah, I got fractions coming up, man. I'm looking for any out
Yeah,
I can get.
I'm done with this. I'm fucking done with this.
I'm always so impressed when people are like, we talk about kind of people, quote unquote, back in the day, and they make these life-changing decisions at such a young age. Like 8 years old, he's like, you know what? I've established my profession. All right. I'm a fucking cow guy now. I'm a farmhand.
Hey, Ma, guess what? I'm going to work as a farmhand. Fuck your school. Fuck your fucking school.
And I just imagine there's a cigarette in his tiny hand.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's part of it.
Fuck your school. I went out there. I did a whole report on Peter Rabbit. The guy didn't fucking like it. So I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I got you a fucking case of Marlboros, and here we are splitting them. And you're mad about it. I'm going to go earn my own fucking money, all right?
I'm going to go earn my own fucking – and I'm going to use the cable for pornography later. Fuck you, Ma.
Okay, and then it's scrambled.
He chugs Mickey's hand grenade and walks out the door.
Yeah. I respect this kid already.
Already this kid is amazing.
He's an asshole, and that's kind of what I love about it. You know how we like KY?
Oh, well.
Ooh, early on shot.
Oh, there it is.
That's some deep dirty.
Oh, okay. Why? I think that's a joke at your expense. That's funny. It's funny how the group is against you right now.
What I like is that it's mainly coming from the shorter.
Oh, is he gonna make a tall joke?
Oh, wow, a tall joke. God, that's so funny. That's so fucking funny. Wow, you must be a comedian or something making a fucking tall joke.
You know, you can't be hateful.
You know,
I
honestly,
tall,
I think this podcast is primarily good people and then someone who's a fucking hiatus. And that's what I feel. That's what I feel like goes on here.
All right. Timothy Dexter, guys. Timothy Dexter. So after he becomes a farmhand in his teens, he decides that he wants to be a leather worker. So he becomes a leather working apprentice. During that period, he learns how to like form leather into like saddles, wallets, boots, hats, shit like that, which was, quite the thing back in 1747. You could make a modest living in that era of forming leather into shit. Well, Timothy Dexter had always wanted to be rich and famous. He always wanted to be part of the American aristocracy of the time. So he finds himself a woman to marry. Her name is Elizabeth Frothingham, which
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
The word froth always just gets my butter churning.
Ooh, butter churning. That's such a deep joke.
When I see a girl churning butter, I just know it's going to be the best fucking Pornhub ever seen in my fucking
Documentary.
I'm sorry. God damn. Yeah, you're right. It's a documentary.
It's a documentary. And at that point,
documentary she's turning butter, and then her stepdad comes out.
Oh no!
Always
going down a dark path.
Yeah.
Look, it's all over. We're not the only ones to see it, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not the only person going to Pornhub.
It's a huge category. Butter churning stepdad. That's a huge category of porn.
Yeah, it's strangely popular.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
Very, very interesting.
So he's got Frothingham getting himself all frothy.
Yeah. So, and I don't even know if he even likes this chick. Reason he marries her. Yeah.
It's like of the time. It's like they could hate each other. Who fucking knows?
No, dude. I'm gonna tell you some shit later on that's gonna be like, oh wow, this dude's a dick. She is 10 years his senior. She's a widow, and she's got a good sum of money that she's holding on to from her dead husband. And of course, this guy Timothy Dexter realizes that. Before we go on, let me just say he's not a mastermind by any means. He is actually a very dumb human being. I've met guys who are just the stupidest pieces of shit I've ever met in my entire life. And everything they do, everything they touch turns to fucking gold. That's Timothy Dexter. He's very easy to hate, very easy to love. So when I found this, actually, I was just scrounging through the internet looking for something to do a topic on. And I came across this story that said America's dumbest rags to riches story. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you got my fucking attention. And when I read it, it was actually fucking brilliant. Genius. Perfect for our fucking show. So Timothy Dexter, the first thing he does with his little sum of money is he petitions the local government to be a part of it somehow. He wants to run for office. That's what he's witnessed. People with money run for office in some way. So he petitions his local municipal whatever. I'm not even sure where this happened. I'm pretty sure it's in Malden. It could have been anywhere else. But so he petitions the local government to make him in charge of something. And they've denied all of his requests up until a point. It was like, fuck it. So they made up a title called Informer of Deer. His job was to keep track of the deer population in Malden, Massachusetts.
So is that like, of the time, it's like you keep applying for a job, keep applying for the job, and they're like, you know what? Crossing guard.
Yeah. We'll give him something.
Yeah, give him something.
Worse. As it turns out, there are no deer in Malden, Massachusetts.
Go track the deer. It's like go hunting for snipes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. That's the title they gave him.
Snipes, they're anywhere from a turkey to a velociraptor. Go out there, find them somewhere.
Yep.
You got it.
If you get a picture, you get all the coins in my change jar. Like,
Dark, feathers.
It's-
It's like the jackalope. When I was a kid, I really thought jackalopes were real. It wasn't until I was like 22 I realized jackalopes were not real.
yeah, I distinctly remember having a conversation with Jay Money way, quote unquote, back in the day. And he was like, you know, those like rabbits that have like antlers. And I'm like, I'm 99% sure one of my 8 uncles has told me that line of bullshit and it's not real. And you were not taken by those things. I'm far more gullible, especially as a child, than you were. But you were like double down on the fucking jackalope.
Yep. I really thought jackalopes were real for a long time.
If you do look up jackalopes on the internet, there are mutations out there where they do have.
A little off topic, but the jackalope, it comes from, they think it comes from, rabbits develop a form of cancer where they grow horns, and it's like skin mutations out of their fucking heads. And I don't know if it's bone or if it's just skin.
Yeah, it does. It was very trippy when I saw it.
Like the only thing I'm going to pull from this episode is an 8-year-old smoking and what do rabbits look like when they get head cancer.
Right. Yep.
And it's antlers. It's antlers.
You know, we're here to teach. We're here to teach. That's what it is.
It's primarily educational.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I have always said that, and once again,
do not come to this podcast for laughs.
Don't do it.
This is mostly educational.
No.
Yeah,
We're going for that as a label, as a tag. Education.
Educational, discusses Pornhub.
Honestly, next week we'll have Werner Herzog on, and he's just going to educate the shit out of you about some fucking genocide.
Dark shit.
Yeah.
I've been in many documentaries.
Like, man, you gotta stop. You gotta stop being in documentaries, man. That scene.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Because the road committed atrocities beyond all human disbelief. It's more Russian than it was German. I get it. I know.
Yeah, it's hard to do a German accent. So
yeah, it was a bad impression, just really poorly done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks.
We're moving on. We're moving
for
on.
a guy. Yeah,
We're not going to talk about it.
For sure.
I couldn't help it. I was like, here's the dick.
I noticed he didn't laugh, and I knew the bullet was in the chamber then. That's what I knew.
Just me licking my lips. This is gonna be tasty.
Waiting for this one. Basically, Wile E. Coyote out here. Fucking cocksucker. Jesus.
He placed his order with Acme a month ago, dude. He was prepared.
I was doing that like
The Roadrunner ready for this fucking shit. Yeah.
Got him.
all right, fuckers, listen up. I got a story to tell. Okay, so Timothy Dexter wants to make an investment. So he has all this money. He's ran for office. It didn't really pan out for him. So at the time, right after the Revolutionary War, the colonies had their own money, and it was called the colonial dollar. Now, they had the colonial dollar actually before they went to war with Britain, and in order to pay for shit and to pay soldiers, they did the one thing that we know, economists know, not to ever do, is print off a shit ton of this fucking money. So during the war effort, they printed off a ton of this money to purchase materials, pay for troops, stuff like that. So when the war was over, the continental dollar was not even worth the paper it was printed on. So it actually left a bunch of veterans of that war destitute. The money wasn't worth shit. The British pound was still floating around the colonies, now the continental U.S. for a while. And it took a couple of years for the government to get on its feet. And when it did, it created a buyback program. Well, let's back up. Timothy Dexter, before this buyback program ever came about, bought literal boatloads of these Continental dollars. They weren't worth a fucking thing. He just bought a ton of them. He was like, yeah, I'll take them. Literal boatloads. And then the government came up with this buyback program, and he made a ton of fucking money, which shot him straight into the aristocracy that he was trying to get into to begin with.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So he made a bunch of idiot mistakes that turned out good for him. And so he moves, I think, to Newburyport, Massachusetts with his wife.
It sounds expensive.
Yeah, he buys a mansion, like the biggest fucking mansion of all of the aristocrats in the area. And he throws all these lavish parties. He has it decorated in a bunch of weird ways. He had a sculptor come out and build a bunch of statues. The biggest one is of himself, where the
Of course.
where the inscription says the greatest philosopher in the Western world.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I know in the world of social media you can literally just ascribe kind of anything to yourself, but having someone out to do your effigy in stone and then to assign yourself a title, that is that's a first rate move of being like, well, this is real now because it's in fucking stone. Look over there what I did. That's something.
There's a statue, so clearly it's true, right? You wouldn't disbelieve this. You peasants, keep walking.
Free internet. If you see it, you have to believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's in stone. It's in stone, baby.
It is, yeah.
So he did, not only did he put in stone that he was the greatest philosopher in the Western world, but he also proclaimed himself as a lord. And there were no lords in the United States. That was like the whole point, right? But he would refer to himself as Lord Dexter, Lord Timothy Dexter. So anyways, he was a dick. He threw all these parties. His children were dicks. The local newspaper referred to his son and daughter as the son is a drunkard and a madman, and the daughter is just a drunkard. Like, that's how they referred to it.
Do you think the daughter read that in the paper and was like, man, not too bad,
Yeah,
by comparison?
that's my shitty brother.
Yeah. He's not shooting his musket in the street once every 90 seconds,
Yeah.
She behaves like a woman.
Right. 90 seconds is the cyclic rate for a musket.
Is it? Did I guess that right?
I don't know. I made that up.
Damn it.
I'll
All
go
right,
with it.
we'll cut that. We'll cut that and
didn't-
leave the confidence. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
okay.
didn't get it. You didn't get it, KY. You're wrong.
Yeah, I probably
okay.
got it though. I
You
probably
definitely got it wrong, though.
The problem
You
is that
definitely got it
joke.
wrong.
That joke probably went over your head.
Because he shot the musket. You get it?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's because Ryan's short. That's what he's saying.
Thank you.
Oh.
There it is.
Which I also take
His
offense to.
jokes over
Because
there.
he's a fucking dirty heightist. And he's a fucking monster. God, you sound dumb. You sound dumb sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the oxygen at your level.
It's far too pure is the problem.
Oh, it's far too pure. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, can we say for the record, how tall is our friend Dexter here?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, probably not a short idiot though.
You don't think
He's
a
a fucking idiot. No, you're right. I mean, he walked with a cane. I know that much. I don't know if that fucking means
So what
anything.
we're saying is he's a tall idiot then.
He could be a tall idiot. That's what I'm
God
saying.
damn it.
He was, as we go along, he was a fucking idiot, and I'm gonna get to that.
All right.
Let's have it.
Yeah, fucking big idiot. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe
Big
he was
idiot.
Maybe he's a
Big
mini
idiot.
idiot. Maybe he was
You
a
hear
mini.
that?
Yeah.
Big idiot.
He's tall. He's tall now. You already made it happen. That's it.
I try not to get
he's-
between KY and Big Cat's tiffs.
He's
He
got
may be a
if he's got a
medium-sized
statue,
idiot.
that statue is 8 feet tall because why? Height matters.
He's
It's
a
not a
great
4-foot
philosopher.
statue.
Yeah.
He didn't make himself a fucking garden gnome.
To be honest, let's be fair here. Napoleon had statues that were 9 feet. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, we get it. We do get
Yeah,
it.
it's part of it.
Siggy piggy.
Anyway, so this guy's a massive idiot, tall or short. He's a fucking moron.
Maybe
Mostly
medium-sized.
tall though.
idiot.
Mostly tall. He's a fucking idiot. Yeah.
Could be short though. Who knows?
Probably tall though.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he made some bad choices. I would love to hear about that.
How dare you try to put a segue in here, Sean? How dare you be professional?
All right, I'm going to go out about our friend Dexter here. So Dexter was not liked among the rich and wealthy in Massachusetts at the time. And the socialites that he was surrounding himself with would actually go to great lengths to try to bankrupt him. And it was pretty easily recognizable that Timothy Dexter was a fucking let's maybe gotta cut that. Was a fucking moron.
Quick bring back, though. Quick bring back. That was good.
Yeah. Well, let's acknowledge a future cut and that guy's a fucking moron.
He's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's a fucking moron.
I love how it's just like quick words right in there that Kyle's gonna have to hunt and find later.
Yeah. There it is. I found
You know,
it.
you gotta find that every once in a while.
God damn it, Connor. Sit down when I gotta cut.
Fucking hunt for it.
I want you to leave it. I don't
You
think
know,
it's that offensive.
I think we all enjoy a good. You know what I mean? So
It is.
4 in a row.
What?
We gotta stop talking about it, you bastards. Sean, don't you do it. Don't you fuck me, you beautiful
Okay,
bastard.
all right. I was thinking about it. God, you know what? I like to mix in with a couple of.
I know. Oh, God damn it.
There's the 5th one.
God.
Anyway, so the socialites were trying to bankrupt this guy by giving him bad business advice. One of the things they told him to do, they said, why don't you take bedpans down to the Indies and sell them? Now, this was, of course, bad business advice because bedpans were used to warm up your bed in warm climate. So it's a pan with a very long handle, a very broad belly, and you'd fill it with coal or hot water, and you would set it on your bed to warm it up before you went to sleep. Well, if you were to sail down to the West Indies, so like Jamaica and the Caribbean, and sell bedpans there, they wouldn't sell for shit because it's already hot. However, Timothy Dexter didn't know this because he was an idiot. So he filled up his ships full up, maybe not ships. He filled up his ship.
Say, we know he's rich, but like, he's got a fleet of ships now.
Well, he did create a shipping company.
the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa, fuck you. Yeah,
Okay.
he's ready to go.
All right. I don't think he's discovering any new shit.
So he fills the ship up with these bedpans and he ships them down to the Caribbean. And remember I mentioned that I've known guys that were like, no matter what they do, no matter what they touch, everything turns to fucking gold, even though they're douchebags and morons.
Yep.
Okay, this guy's like this. So when he got down to Jamaica, and it might not have been Jamaica exactly. I was a little unclear where he went, but he wound up in the Caribbean. The people down there were like, well, we're not going to use it to warm up our beds, but it's a great device to help us boil molasses. He sold every single fucking bedpan down there to the molasses trade, and he made a ton of money on it.
I know it's incredible, right? But like, to go back a little bit, when you're sitting at an aristocratic party, hands down full of white people, and they're like, oh, you know, it's really bad business advice that we could give him. That is like the most bougie thing and backhanded bullshit that you could try to prove on somebody. And then this fucking idiot is like, oh yeah, sure. Now that's a great idea. We'll definitely do this. And then like makes it fucking happen. Incredible. Yeah.
Oh,
he's the CEO of T-Mobile at his time. Yeah, this guy is just out here making fucking whatever facts decisions he wants. Yeah, you know what? You can get yourself out of your contract at any time. I don't fucking care. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Like T-Mobile's doing great, and he's like, yeah, fuck it, do what you want. I don't know. Cell phones are they're everywhere. They're cheap. Fuck.
Yeah. So imagine like the aristocracy as he comes back with a ton of money in his pocket from this ridiculous adventure that he took down to the Caribbean. So what does the aristocracy do? They do it again. So they said, why don't you go sell coal to Newcastle? Now, I'm going to tell this one story real quick before I jump to the Newcastle thing. So when Timothy Dexter was down there, a lot of the people in the Caribbean were like, hey, we have a big rat problem. Is there any way you can bring some rat traps back? So Timothy Dexter was like, yeah, I can bring some rat traps back. So he goes back to Massachusetts and he rounds up every stray cat that he can find and ships them down to the Caribbean and makes a ton of money off of it.
Yeah, here are all these amazing, like, you know, high technology rat traps. It's like, it's a bunch of fucking cats.
Yeah.
Well, you think he stopped going to colonial school at 8 years old. So
hey, Ma, do you got any stray cats I could borrow? I'm going to ship them down to the Caribbean.
No.
money.
I don't
A lot
need.
of
I
money.
don't need like 5. I need like 800.
Mom, you know there's like 800 stray cats in these streets. All right. You
I
know
need all
it.
your pussy cats
Just-
on my ship right now.
Exactly.
Right
Get
now.
every piece of pussy on this ship right now, okay? All right.
The lady Frothberry has plenty of cats. All right.
Can you imagine his wife when he's like, "Hey, babe, listen, real quick. How do you round up cats? But not like around like a saucer of milk, but like all of the cats you could find.
You know, like herding them, like you would with cattle. You know.
Literally anything that's going on, he's just, hey, babe, I just, how do you get a lot of cats? How do you get a lot of cats? How do you get all these cats? Is that possible?
Because like you gotta imagine like
You got
you know she's like he's a fucking idiot, but we keep making money. Like
Yeah, exactly. So she's like, yeah, I guess I can get you your fucking cats, all right? Timothy, Jesus Christ.
Jesus,
You want
asking
cats?
me?
I'll get you some fucking cats, okay? Can you please do the dishes this time?
We're 2 months behind on the mortgage. Fuck you. I'm taking the kids. I'm taking the kids.
All right, take the kids. Leave the cats. Damn it.
But then his big bag is like, baby, listen, you're not gonna believe this. This is gonna be great. I've got 800 cats going to the fucking Bahamas, all right? And we're gonna make so much goddamn money on these cats. You'll stay.
Baby, these cats are pumped about the Caribbean. Darling. They all got little straws with umbrellas on them.
Waiting for Caribbean drinks.
Yeah,
That's what they brought their own umbrella straws.
And that's how these cats were sold. They're highly intelligent. You know they were sold on the idea.
And highly
It's a cat
festive.
cruise. It's a cat cruise for you guys.
All right, we ready to get back in it?
Yeah, give us a segue from where we left off, J Money.
Okay, back to what we were talking about. Yeah. Gonna segue for you, motherfucker.
Fuck you.
All right, back to where we were for KY stepped out of frame, motherfucker.
Guilty. Lo siento. Lo
All
siento.
right. Leave them
Okay,
alone.
so Timothy Dexter made a bunch of money off of selling bedpans and selling cats somehow. Meow, meow. And that's selling the cats. That's like, you know, besides paying the crew to sail them down there, that's like 100% profit.
What was it like being one of the crew on that boat? Just like, God, you won't believe it. I got paid to take a ship full of fucking cats on the Caribbean. You know what I mean? It was insane. I was out there just like, what are all these fucking pussy cats doing, hanging around? It was insane. It's insane.
We set a schedule.
People usually go to the Caribbean to get pussy. We are taking pussy too.
We're taking pussy to the Caribbean.
It's
Hey,
a flip.
Tabby. Hey, black cat. Hey, orange cat. Hey, all these other cats on the fucking ship. Fucking pussies. Jesus.
It's a classic flip in reverse. That's the thing. His simplicity is drawing him nearer to genius.
Yeah, and that he's a real genius. So
He's a lord and a philosopher.
Do not doubt this man.
he's a lord and a philosophizer. according
Guys,
to
the thing is, he has a statue, so you know he's a genius.
It was put into
Yeah.
stone. It was put into stone.
Yeah,
Put
it was
in
put
a
in stone, so you know he's a good person and also a godsend. Yeah.
So he comes back from these two adventures, and the socialites are trying to bankrupt him still. Like, okay, this dude's a fucking idiot, but he made it work somehow. It's not going to work this time. So what they told him, they said, and I think they kind of said it in passing. They just said, go sell coal to Newcastle. Now, that was actually a saying back in the day. Telling someone to go sell coal to Newcastle, or go ship coal to Newcastle, tell someone to ship coal to Newcastle by today's standard would be to tell them to go kick rocks. That means to do something menial and idiotic, because Newcastle produced almost all of the world's fucking coal at the time. Did Lord Timothy Dexter know that? No, he did not.
Didn't have to.
Shockingly, he didn't have that information
Didn't
on
have
hand.
to know.
Nope.
Yeah. I just imagine his barber is like, what? He's like, yeah, go get a haircut, put it on the sides here. I'm going to, what do you know about Newcastle? I'm about to sail over there, give them some coal. Apparently they got fucking none. So I'm just
Hey,
going to.
well, you were from the old fucking land, right? While you're cutting my hair, could you tell me what you know about Newcastle?
Yeah. His
Don't
barber's
mind.
like, this guy doesn't even know, like, doesn't know go kick rocks. He doesn't know a saying, a colloquialism. He doesn't
It
know.
was a fucking idiom back.
He was such a fucking idiot. You would assume he was brain damaged at some point.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
what was going on.
My cousin who got kicked by the mule in his fucking head when he was 8, smarter than this guy.
Other than this guy. You would assume
Unbelievable.
He's out here doing fucking rocket science. God.
Yeah.
So no shit, he shipped coal to Newcastle.
But did he make money? Did he make money?
God. Okay, so this motherfucker shipped coal to Newcastle, and as he was pulling into port, all of the miners went on strike. He sold his coal. Yeah, he sold his coal.
Unbelievable.
He sold every ounce of his coal at an 80% markup.
Fuck
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, he's the Cosmo Kramer of his time.
He absolutely is the Cosmo Kramer of his
Absolutely
time.
right.
You're taking those 10-cent bottle deposits and you're moving them 3 states away, baby, to make that money. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, so he did a number of other like goofy shit too. Like, could you imagine though, like telling someone like, go ship coal to Newcastle, and then he does it, and then he makes a fucking shit ton of money. How pissed would you be if you're
Well,
trying
it'd be it's like if someone said, go sell some sand to Saudi Arabia, and you were like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna for sure do that, and you do all that crazy work, and Saudi Arabia's like, you know what's weird? We ran out of sand yesterday, just yesterday. We'll buy all that fucking sand you got. I also keep thinking about these other aristocrats as like really bad, like PG villains. Like, this will get him this time.
Full mustache, like, we'll get him this time. There's a banana peel at the bottom of the boat.
Yeah, surely he'll fail this time.
Yeah.
Like,
God. Just fucking terrible.
Jesus.
But he never
And
does.
Scooby-Doo shows up in the next take. Yeah.
Yeah, they keep trying
Jesus.
to rip the mask off, but it's just his stupid fucking face under every one of them.
It's Timothy Dexter.
He's like, oh yeah, I always just walk around in like 8 of my own masks.
I wear my own face all the time. That's how I protect this.
Yeah, it's part of it. It's just what I do.
God literally pissed gold on this guy.
It's ridiculous.
He did.
Yeah, so another thing he did was he shipped gloves to the Southeast Islands, I think, which are today the Azores. I'm not really sure. I really didn't do that deeper research on it. Whatever.
Do
It's a
they
hot
make
place.
gloves there?
Yeah, they don't need gloves at this hot
Okay.
place.
Okay.
They
They
don't.
definitely just don't need these gloves. 100% they don't need the gloves.
No, they definitely don't need the gloves at this place. But he shipped them there just in time for like a bunch of, and I guess it was owned by the Spanish. So just in time for these Spaniards to make a trip to some cold climate, and he's like, he sold all of them.
Jesus. I know eventually we have to like stop being surprised that this guy is like continually winning, but like
Honestly, I just imagine the My Pillow guy at this point as this individual out there fucking literally for everything, selling everything, just making impossible stops everywhere. They doubted me, and I sold coal to Newcastle. Here we are.
yeah, Billy Mays here with Cole in Newcastle.
He sells goals. He sells gloves.
Yeah. So he really did not like Elizabeth Frothingham in the later portions of his and her life. I'm not really sure who died first. I don't really care. But so he went as far, he hated his wife so much that he went as far as telling everyone that she died.
Damn. She's back at home. No, she's in the ground though. Yeah.
No.
Done.
People would come visit, and they would see his wife walking around, and he's like, "Oh, that's her ghost." He would literally tell people his wife was the ghost of her.
If anyone is listening, if you have to call it off with a woman, please don't say she died and that's her ghost when you're still with her, because that's just not going to go over well. I thought you said your girlfriend was dead. No. I'm eating with her ghost. You know what I mean? I'm
She
out here with the
ghosted
ghost
me.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
As
He's
the
the
only
ghost.
married guy, and I never trot this out, I have no jokes. It's fucking shade all the way.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm laughing so fucking hard. Oh my god.
Imagine someone coming over there to visit you and your wife, and you tell imagine telling like your sister like, "Oh, my wife died."
She's
oh my
not dead.
god.
She
Oh my God.
walks through the room.
And he comes home and she sees your wife walking around upstairs like that's her ghost.
That's her
Her
fucking ghost.
spirit still
her ghost has been here for a week. I don't know what to do.
Like,
I don't know what to do.
What I can't imagine is reverse it a little bit. Like my wife says I'm dead, and like 6 months later, her folks come to visit her or something, and they're like, and she's like, nah, his ghost has been here like the whole time.
I fucked that ghost. I've been fucking that ghost.
His ghost has been fantastic. Has not really bothered me one bit.
Still
done a
dishes,
lot of dishes. Does not harass me
done.
about sex at all. Does not harass me about sex.
No, he's got a very substantial dick for a ghost.
For a dick. Honestly, decent. Category of decent.
The phantom dick is what he's got going on.
It is the truest form of shade in a relationship, though, to be like, nah, they're dead. Like, honestly, back to Sean's point, nah, she's in the ground. It's like, you can't, how do you unring that bell besides the ghost? Like, there's the only two avenues. Nah, she's died.
A ghost.
I saw her like at the market, though. Ghost.
Honestly, you can talk to her, you can hug her, she'll make food for you, but she's a fucking ghost. Right? This woman is a fucking ghost right now.
I get so much joy out of this. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's a douche. I love it. I love it.
It's terrible.
What an asshole.
Timothy Dexter is a real piece of shit. Wow.
Yeah.
So he marries her to kind of get up in circles, but then he does right by himself through aloofness and unlikelihoods. Yeah. And now he's coming back and he's just getting tired of his wife.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, fuck you, Frothingham.
I know, like he's rich now, so he's like, fuck you, get out of here.
So there were like many attempts by Timothy Dexter to cheat on his wife. With
attempts?
Of course. I mean, you're not, if you're telling people your wife's dead, you're definitely fucking around behind her back. That's her dead.
No question. No question.
Oh, yeah.
Well, attempts makes it sound like he failed at them.
Yeah, he did. No one
He couldn't even cheat on his wife? Like, come on.
He couldn't even cheat on his fake dead wife.
To be fair, Timothy Dexter pickup lines, how does that work for him? Baby, I sold coal to Newcastle. I rounded up so much fucking pussy, sold it to the Caribbean. All right?
I feel like it'd be because he's so stupid. He'd be like, hey girl, I've seen 800 cats at once. So.
Yeah. You want to see my statue, baby girl? It's hot.
It's hot.
I just imagine it's like it's stuck as an 8-year-old. You want to play with my Lincoln Logs?
And in truth, that's what it probably is. He's probably like, I got like a bunch of toys at my house. If you want to come hang
honestly,
out.
his wife married him purely out of just, I don't know what it is, the cosmos aligning, and she fell and had to marry this man.
Yeah.
No, she married him as last resort, and this fucking idiot has no idea how to have any human interaction.
What's the thing? She was turning 26, which is basically the equivalent of 75 in those days. So she's like, days are numbered, days are numbered.
You might want someone to plug that up for you. I can do that.
26, you're a witch. Get out of here. Jesus.
Yeah, it's all right. He'll fake her death in a couple of years for her.
For her.
Surprisingly, you bring that up. So Timothy Dexter goes on to fake his own death.
Oh,
it's legend. This guy's a fucking legend.
Yeah, it's strictly hubris. He only does it to see how many people will come to his funeral.
So he's basically just an emotional 13-year-old. If I die tomorrow, nobody would come to my funeral.
Real deal Huckleberry Finn scenario here with this bitch. Yeah.
So Timothy Dexter pays his 2 children to go along with this funeral. Timothy Dexter lays his ass in a coffin. Everyone comes to this fucking funeral. There's a bunch of people in attendance, and
like the whole town, or
I don't fucking know. Maybe everyone.
But it is everyone in the okay.
It's a lot of folks, I guess. I don't really know how many showed up. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm guessing at least a couple came. But
we know his son and daughter showed up, and we're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So they were in. Son and daughter were in on it. The wife was in on it, and so Timothy Dexter's laying there in his coffin, and he's kind of like peeking out of the corner of his eye. People are showing up to like pay their respects for the late great Timothy Dexter, and Timothy Dexter's like peeking out of the coffin every once in a while.
And like I assume he's doing a really bad job of it. Like
yeah.
He's doing a terrible job of being dead. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like holding up a newspaper, trying to like surreptitiously glance side to side, like
roaming through the classifieds. Like, oh, there's more pussies needed in this state.
Like, wow, you people aren't really crying hard enough. Are you serious? Or
Well, actually, KY hits the nail on the head again.
profit.
So he sees Timothy Dexter from his fucking coffin, sees his wife not mourning hard enough, like not crying hard enough.
Right? She is a
Right.
ghost. Yeah.
Right. She can't
So,
feel.
so this motherfucker is pissed. He sees his wife not crying, so he pops up out of his fucking coffin and starts beating her with his cane
Jesus Christ.
in front of everybody.
What a fucking madman.
It's a dead man beating a ghost. What a time to be alive.
Yeah. What a time to be alive. Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, this guy, like, everything I read about him cracks me the fuck up. Now,
I mean, well, let's just say there's no question that this woman was in an extremely toxic home environment.
Yeah.
All that aside, the fact that this guy was such a fucking maniac as to beat his wife in public. I don't give a shit. You know, we don't need to kind of play the card to it's not okay, but it's obviously not fucking okay. But in his own aspect, he staged his own death, has told everyone that his fucking wife is dead, and then blows the whole charade because of his fucking ego about his wife not crying hard enough.
Woman, you are not crying hard enough. Whack you with the cane.
It's like
Ka-whack,
not
ka-whack.
only exactly. Not only is he a fucking weird idiot moron for staging his own death just to see who shows up, he's also such a fucking child that he has to like lash out at his ghost wife mid funeral. It's like you can't explain it without laughing because it's so fucking ridiculous.
We're talking about a Shakespearean level hubris here.
Yeah,
okay?
really.
I mean, this is something you'd see out of a tragedy or something. This is absurd.
oh, dude, his whole life is this obnoxious roller coaster ride, almost orchestrated by the 8-year-old self, his 8-year-old self that left this school to become a farmhand, a leather worker, shipping company, cats. He also did a thing with like whale bones. He like hoarded whale bones for some reason. No one really knows.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising to anyone here.
I
mean,
mean,
those stocks always go up.
Yeah.
it's like gold. It's like Scrimshaw through the roof every time.
You can't lose.
No. Yeah, he
Animal
didn't.
Crossing reference. Yeah, there we go.
No, he didn't lose. He made a bunch of money off those whale bones.
Oh my god! And it's an Animal Crossing
Sell
joke.
the whale bones too. Who needed those whale bones?
Oh, they're whales for those bone replacements.
Of course, because he started the whale hospitals.
Oh, looks like there's a whale that needs a hip replacement.
They're not doing this yet?
And he
Why
just
aren't they doing
saunters
this
into
yet?
the room like, "Hey, you guys need some whale bones?" All right.
Starting the first Timothy Dexter whale hospital. Do you need whale bones? We got you whale bones.
The ad he has in the paper: wholesale whale bones. Come get them. Backbones, fin
This
bones,
spells come.
rib bones, bones, dick bones.
We haven't said
Big
dick the
ass
whole
dick
time.
bones.
We haven't said dick this entire episode.
Yeah,
by the
this
way.
whole episode has been dick.
I keep a
Wow.
running log of how many times we say dick in my head.
That's a big.
Oh, I'm
Honestly,
sorry.
there's a
That's
lot
the
to
weirdest thing that's been said today. That's the weirdest thing. Go fuck yourselves.
I will say, for once, Connor had a very visceral reaction to that, and it actually matched mine. I have a lot of questions.
It's not even that. I took it the wrong way, where it's like I keep a running tally of how many times I've heard dick in my head.
So you just hear Justin's monologue of dick, 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 dick.
So whalebone was used in the manufacture or the production of corsets. They're used as like the buttons. So he sold all these fucking whale bones, made a bunch of money to like the corset industry. Okay, guys, this is the last tidbit I have on our friend Timothy Dexter here. Timothy Dexter, at age 50, wrote a book. He wrote a full novel. It was called A Pickle for the Knowing Ones.
Yes.
What?
This man is a genius.
I'm getting that tattooed on my chest.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Absolutely.
Yeah. And guess what? It sold.
I'm sure.
Of course it did. God, this guy just shits money. What an idiot!
Yeah.
He does.
So this guy, I actually, you can pull up Pickle for the Knowing Ones in its original form. So he dropped out of school at 8 years old, so he cannot fucking spell. So it is several fucking pages. I can't.
And he didn't have an editor? There's no, it's just purely.
No.
I'm with Ryan. I have a lot of questions about how this thing went from his nasty fucking 8-year-old like writing script to actual print, and nobody read it.
Yeah, no one even looked at it. Wow, put this on the fucking shelf, baby.
This is gold. And it's just some guy looking at the cover like, I'm sure this is great.
I'm sure. Yeah. Dude, you sold whalebone, cats, coal, and your wife's a fucking ghost. This is a guarantee.
You already died once? Print this fucking book.
Yeah, print this. I think I was dead.
A book after your death?
Hello, John Edwards. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. John Edwards, take a hike, sister.
You're the fucking Tupac of the literary world. Anyways, so A Pickle for the Knowing Ones. It's written like several fucking pages. I couldn't even tell you how many pages. It's crazy.
What is it about? What is The Pickle for the Knowing Ones?
What is that? What is the implications of that title?
I have no fucking clue because I can't read it well enough to. I have no idea what the fuck he's saying.
Is there a summary at the end of the book, like a book cover or something? Like, did someone else read this and give a summary?
Yeah, there is like a cover. But okay, here I'll read you a couple lines. And there aren't even lines. Want to know why? Because this entire thing has no punctuation.
He scribbled with crayon just across like 70 pages and called it a book.
He has no punctuation, and there are random capitalization.
Oh my god!
And nothing is spelled right.
Okay.
So it's like an Alex Jones level book, or?
Well, I mean, it might be even like below Alex Jones level. Careful, KY. You might be pissing off some constituents.
I know. The thing is, I will say I am a fan of Alex Jones in a very satirical sense.
I love his confidence.
I have read. I'm going to be honest with you. I have read.
He's got great energy.
He swings a hog.
He always brings it to the table.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're just like a t-ball coach the whole time. Like great energy. Kids always really get to it.
Half of this book is just Timothy Dexter going, "I will eat that ass. I will eat that ass. I swear I will eat that ass."
Just like different like capitalizations are made in that same sentence, and he's like, "No, it's a new sentence. It's the same."
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna read you a couple lines. Well, I mean, there's no fucking lines. It's just one giant line. But so the first, it starts off, "A pickle for the knowing ones." Strangely enough, that sentence, "A pickle for the knowing ones," does have a period in it. It's right after the K and knowing. No, I'm just kidding. It is at the. It's where it's supposed to be, which is great. So that's not a complete. Well, I mean, he's
the only sentence he's ever put together in his life.
Yeah,
put together as a fourth grader. "A pickle for the knowing ones." I'm done. Fuck you, teacher. I'm out of here.
I got a pickle for the knowing ones right here. I published a book. What'd you ever do? Nothing. You died of dysentery.
You never did fucking anything because you're a fucking teacher. Fuck you. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, all teachers suck. So
yeah, they do. They do.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this, I'm going to read you the opening to "A Pickle for the Knowing Ones." "To mankind at large." I'm going to read you exactly the way it's spelled. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Give it.
"To mankind at large, the time is calm. At last, the grat day of rejoicing. What is that? Why, I will tell you, thou's 3 kings is raised, you meanie should know, raised on the royal arch in the world almost, not quite, but very few, up upon they are mark to be seen, to the woman's lick to see the front of all people loves to see them, as Quakers will come and peepee slyly and feely glad and say how dow friend father George Washington." George Washington.
Sure.
George Washington.
This is, honestly, this reads like a student who has plagiarized some work and then tried to put it into their own words.
I was going to say, as much as I'd love to give Ryan grief about being a beautiful human being, we have to defer to you on like, what the fuck is this? What's the grab with this?
I would have read this. I would have approached him and said, "A lot of this doesn't make much sense."
Are you sick? Are you sick?
Oh, but I thought it just had to be so many lines. No, I said paragraphs. There were paragraphs that were involved. They would come back and try to revise it, and it would be just as atrocious because they would have inserted literal plagiarism that they took off of Google. And then At that point, I would have just said, I'm going to give you half credit. And they would have said, why did you give me half credit? And I would have said, because you plagiarized. This is not your work. I cannot grade you on this. And then they would start crying. And then I would say, you shouldn't have stolen your work. That was an item. And then
that was an item. That's an item. Honestly, there's a lot of references to George Washington in here, and I'm uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, the references to George Washington are you referenced George Washington. We have not spoken about him in class at all. So I don't know where that's coming from.
Now this is during a section of the Industrial Revolution, so I have a lot of questions as to why he's being brought up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We're going through the Vietnam War right now, and you're bringing up George Washington. So none of this makes any sense. We need to figure this out.
I would like to say, for the record, just because we don't celebrate Sean quite enough, and he's such a beautiful human being, that Sean has not a single time heard the title of this book and not laughed on this guy. And I love that so much about him because it resonates in my soul.
Let's have a little game here. Pickle for the knowing one. There he goes.
He just can't not. It hits his goofy bone, I think, so deeply because it's such a goofy, stupid thing.
This is an atrociously written thing, and it still got published.
This is awful and got published and it sold. It was really popular, and there are.
Who bought it? Who liked it?
That's the truth. Dude, who bought it?
Who enjoyed that shit?
Dude, this is how George Washington is spelled. Jorge.
Jorge.
Yep,
Classic Jorge. You son of a bitch, Jorge.
Washington. Washeton.
Classic.
Washington.
Jorge Washington.
Now he even goes on to say, "King as he stands hearing, being younger and very deaf. In short, being one great philosopher. Philosopher.
When you are one, you can spell it however you want.
Jorge Washington, the great philosopher who crossed the Rio Grande. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my friend philosopher.
Yeah,
philosopher.
Yeah.
So this book, Pickle from the Knowing Ones, was like, even to this day, hipsters, they're fucking hipsters. I don't care who that offends. They're fucking hipsters. They read this book like, this book is brilliant. I totally get it. It makes absolute sense. People do, yeah. You can go on the internet and read about people saying how brilliant this book is. These are the same people that took Marquis de Sade's 120 Days of Sodom and said, well, it's clearly about the French government, when it's obviously some madman's deranged fucking ravings about his sexual fucking delusions. So that's what's going on here. Interestingly enough, this guy published this book. He made a ton of money. I wouldn't say a ton of money, but it was actually a popular book. Well, a lot of people wrote in complaining about the lack of punctuation. So the second edition, and this really speaks to Timothy Dexter's hubris. The second edition of this book comes complete with a few extra pages of just periods and commas. And
this guy's the fucking, he's like the best and the worst, right?
Yeah,
like he's the fucking worst.
So he literally wrote, he just put extra pages of periods and commas, and he said, put them wherever you want.
I don't know.
Here's your fucking punctuation. Here's your fucking periods. Here's your fucking commas.
I don't know a single human being that could match this hubris. It would be like Vince McMahon and Elon
honestly,
Musk,
Vince McMahon is a great.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I don't know how many people I could compile into this person to add up to get the hubris of this individual.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you over my fucking statue. So,
exactly.
Okay.
I have a fucking statue, so here's my fucking book. Get rich like me, you fuckers. You fuckers.
Loud ass statue.
Yeah. And I can't even tell you what this book's about. I tried reading it. I tried real hard. I even tried listening to someone narrate it to me, and I couldn't.
That's probably even worse, quite frankly. I mean, that was below the ground at that point.
At least when you read it yourself, you can kind of figure out what the fuck he's saying. But when someone reads it to you, you're like, I have no idea what these words mean. I have no idea what he's saying.
You're not. This is nonsensical at this point. Yeah.
Apparently, it's about politics, and it's about, in a good portion of it is him bitching about his wife.
As all married men do. Good for him. Good for him.
And that's fair to our reality today, where you can be fucking anyone and write a book about your worldly thoughts on politics and your fucking wife. I mean,
That's right.
I mean, who are the knowing ones, and why are we giving them a pickle?
why are we giving them a
What
pickle?
is the pickle? What is the
What is
pickle?
the pickle?
What is the pickle?
I don't even know what to make of that.
Can you imagine his like aristocrat friends who were like trying to fuck him over for like 30 years, and they're like, thank God he got hit in the head with that coconut or whatever fucking bullshit he made up. Because I imagine he like acme'd himself into some death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
Thank God there was an anvil that dropped on him. What a loser.
yeah, and then he wakes up and they're like, Jesus Christ! Of fucking course it's fake. Jesus,
Yeah.
come
Jesus
on.
Christ. This guy is still fucking alive. What an asshole.
Imagine that. Imagine the split second like thought process that you would have. Like I told him to ship coal to Newcastle, and he fucking did it, and he made money off it. Like,
Yeah.
And then he stands up out of his coffin. You're like, oh my God, God allowed him to come back. God allowed this guy to fucking cheat death.
He is the man who could never
he's
die.
faking it the whole time. Yeah,
The
okay.
original, the originator.
Yeah. Wow. I have to do the most hipster thing though. I have to have this book on my bookshelf. This has to be Kyle has an original copy of a book or a pickle for the knowing one.
Yeah, you should get it. Yeah.
This would be an interesting, this would definitely been, it's certainly an attention grabber. Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, oh, now this is an interesting title.
Yeah. Pickle for
have
the
you
knowing one. You know what?
Wonderful.
Very interesting world philosophy. You should read
you
this one.
You could put it right up there with a note that fell out of the Krakauer novel.
Exactly. Yeah. We've got to all just establish just a library of the bullshit that we've collected over the years.
What a beautiful tale about just such a horrid, incredible human being.
I mean,
Yeah, I love this guy. If he was alive now, I'd party with him for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
There's a moment I think we all have where you're like, we can't say the R word. We can't say it. But when you're like someone who is clearly, and I'm going to be very PC here, developmentally delayed, who's like really, really successful, and you're like, does no one else see it? Am I crazy?
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's like Forrest Gump.
It is. Oh my
Where
God,
he
Connor!
he buys like the shrimp boat
Yeah.
through like a hurricane or whatever it is, and like all the other shrimp boats get wiped out.
You know, Lieutenant Dan, the whole time
Yeah.
this is going, does anyone else see this guy?
It's like
Right.
we know he's a little slow, right?
He's
We
a
all
little-
see it, but you're
I know
like,
I'm missing my legs, but like, have you talked to Forrest?
yeah. But
Did
it's
anyone
like-
talk to Forrest?
But it's as if like, Forrest Gump hated Jenny and hoped she was dead the whole time. Like instead of being
Malicious Forrest
Jenny,
Gump.
fuck you, Jenny.
But instead was like a maniacal asshole.
yeah, it's like full.
Yeah.
It's like Forrest Gump full of malice and like greed and a ton of fucking hubris.
Yeah.
That was his autobiography
I just wanna-
afterwards.
I'm the greatest at ping pong, Jenny. Fuck you, Jenny. Ghost Jenny.
Goes Jen, Forrest, I'm not dead. You're dead in my mind.
You're
I would
she
like to
got
mention-
AIDS, and I hope she dies.
I'm dead yet. Shut up, you ghost.
I've actually seen Jenny on the internet quite a bit recently as the greatest villain of all time.
Oh, she's 100% the greatest villain of all time.
Oh,
We can't go down the Forrest Gump like whole thing because I will go off for like
yeah,
an
we
hour and a
fucking
half.
can.
But
Or just
I mean,
how
who the
completely
fuck
crazy.
shows up with AIDS and has sex with a developmentally delayed millionaire and then
Yeah.
fucks off with his kid? Royal
Yeah.
bitch. I mean, you're a bad
Right.
person. You're a truly
that
bad
is
person.
pretty damn rough.
And then when old fucking oh man, there's nothing I can say here. This is gonna.
I
sound
know
like-
you got to be so careful. You got to be so careful.
We're walking on eggshells here.
You gotta write your own pickle for the knowing ones here.
I would like to point out that Connor hasn't said a fucking thing all night, except for this one gem that got us on a sweet tangent.
It is. It's.
God, beautiful.
I got it in there.
He did. It's the darkest. It's the darkest Forrest Gump.
It's the darkest
my
timeline.
The darkest timeline of fucking Forrest Gump.
Yeah. It was honestly a pickle for our knowing ones.
Yeah.
It took us down that hole. Yeah.
So okay, so the book is called A Pickle for the Knowing Ones.
Yeah, actually, there's two titles. It's almost like this was like a working thing. Is that who's beeping? Is that me?
Whose phone is that?
No, that's me. That's me. No, that's not me. I don't know who that is. No, that's not me. That's not me.
Everyone beep your boopers off and we can fucking sit here and talk
I thought
about
that was me.
pickles.
I thought that was me, but it's not. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I gotta assume it's Justin.
No,
just
it
look
was
at
me.
him.
It
Just
was
look
me.
at him.
I don't
Just
think
look at
it's
him.
Oh my God, is it Connor? You son of a bitch.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't Connor.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's not any of us, then it's definitely me.
It's definitely you. God.
It was my ghost bitch of a wife. You hear that? You hear that? Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
Fuck you, Jenny.
Anybody who listens,
Oh, my
anybody who
God.
listens to this will be like, maybe I do have a ghost wife. Like, you know, who's like a little close to the edge of a psychosis is going to be like, you know what? That's what it is. It's a fucking ghost wife for sure.
I got honestly, I've wanted a divorce, and I guess the fact is she's a fucking ghost. That's the truth. I think that's it. I think she's just a fucking ghost. I can just go fuck whoever I want because she's a ghost now. It's fine.
I think I laughed the hardest because it's so fucking. I just can't imagine.
Well, yeah, KY, you're the only married one here.
I know.
Telling everyone that your wife's dead.
And like, I can't even imagine like getting to that point and saying it seriously because there's all the social stuff that goes with it. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, when's the funeral? Let's do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then to be such a, I'm gonna say simple. To be a simple asshole about it. To be like, nah. She's fucking dead. So you know, we're moving on. My statue's still up.
My statue. I don't know. Have you gone to the statue? Okay.
You know, I was thinking of renaming it Pickle the Philosophizer, and that's going to be my pickle for the no. I'm going to leave it behind.
Pickle the Philosophizer. God, that wins it. I think Sean has it. Pickle the Philosophizer.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful title.
Pickle the Philosophizer.
That's what I left behind for you. It's for you. It's my pickle for
The
the
next
no
episode
one.
is just this entire story told through the Timothy Dexter narrative, where it's just
So anyway, I'm 8 fucking years old. My mom, royal bitch the whole time. Can't even believe it.
fucking terrible. Hate this bitch so much. I walk in there with my cigarette, flick it out. I say, I'm done with school. I'm going to go fucking shine shoes. Fuck you, bitch. I'm going to get some cows. We're out of here. It's terrible.
I will say, there is, like, oddly enough, this guy has more, because of the time, he has more experience from 8 to 18 in his profession than I do in my profession.
Oh, my God. Any of us in 20 years worth of work, yes.
Yeah, his 8 to 18 was so incredibly professionally developmental for him, as opposed to these days where we're all a bunch of fucking children far longer than he was.
That's
yeah.
true.
Because he's a true fucking idiot, and he became a man very early.
He was,
That's
though, like,
just-
the kid, I imagine as a kid, he wasn't like, I just want to be a kid. He was like, I mean, I guess working's better than playing. I don't know.
I don't know. I got to go to school? Fuck that. Is there something else? It's called working? Sure, I'll do that. That's all right.
Very, very mature child, very immature adult.
Yeah. I you know what? Maybe
He's
that's
that
it.
weird. He's that very weird breed where the two sides basically collapse.
I do think
always
every poorly written book, every fucking Twilight knockoff, like 50 Shades of Grey, the last page should just be like semicolons, colons, periods. And
Yeah.
be like, do what you fucking want.
Do what you want. You can cut them out and put them
Let's not
wherever you
act
want.
like
It's a coloring book.
Let's not
here.
act like Twilight was a well-written book, okay?
No, not even close. I was gonna say, if anybody takes anything away from this, if you're an aspiring writer or an accomplished writer, like our beautiful honey, George Money. George Money? J Money.
George Money. Jorge Money. Jorge Money.
Jorge Washington.
Washington.
But if you know, just do a safety page, a punctuation, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I love the instruction where, like, he didn't even bother. He's like, fuck it. If you want periods, here's some periods. If you want periods, here's some periods.
He's your fucking period.
Put them wherever the fuck you want, okay? I'm not going to do it. You do it.
You want that little thing that looks like a seaman swimmer? That's a comma or whatever? Yeah, you put that wherever you want. That's fine.
Honestly, dude, that's your fucking problem. That's not
your
my problem.
If it bugs you, that's you. You're being a fucking idiot. That's not me. That's not me.
You want to take a brief pause between clauses? Fuck it. You want to put that in there? That's on you.
That's on you. Can you imagine a fucking Forrest Gump with a Boston accent who calls other people dumb?
Yeah, exactly. He's
That's
just
this guy.
just-
That's this
That's
guy.
the anti-Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he writes
Honestly?
he writes a book it's a 300-page run-on sentence.
Yeah.
It fucking sells.
I got it. He's Bizarro Gump.
I
Bizarro Gump.
would definitely love it if he was mocking people who were mocking him, like, well, there's not a lot of punctuation. Well, there's not a lot of punctuation. Oh, I didn't know there were punctuation police out here. You're a fucking cum dumpster. How does that sound? Where's the period go with that sentence?
I'm sorry. I forgot the moment when you sold 800 cats on an island. I forgot about that. I don't remember that story.
It left my mind. It left my mind. Oh, that's because it never happened. You're a fucking nobody. Get out of my face.
He would call people nobodies.
Yeah, he would.
Just a fucking terrible person.
I love the guys that like kind of suck but are kind of cool at the same time.
Yeah.
They fit with us.
He's like amazingly bad.
He's amazingly bad. Yeah,
Amazing.
To love him and to hate him.
If he were in our friend group, the jokes about this at this man's expense would be nonstop. There's no question. Guys, I was with Timothy today. You would not believe what happened at the gas station with this guy. You know what I mean? It's just like any simple task with him would turn into something fucking completely insane.
Yeah, like
but you'd make money off it though. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing. He would go into a gas station, pump his tank full of gas, not prepay, walk in and be like, like I got gas on 12. And they'd be like, oh, you know what? You're a 100,000th customer. You get fucking 50 years of free gas. And be like, all right, cool. So can I get a free pack of gum or is that not included?
Is that not included? You didn't want that? He's also the type of guy, it seems like in today's day and age, he would definitely be like, take the actual gas hose itself and go, hey, watch this. Try to spray himself in the fucking mouth. And then manage to sue the gas station and get fucking money. I mean, he's that.
There was no sign specifically telling me that I could not spray my face.
I could not spray. Yeah. You did not have signs saying do not inhale.
How was I supposed to know? I'm a fucking pickle, all right? I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Fucking don't put up any fucking signs for pickles to know better.
So many pickles around here, and then you're out here just saying whatever. Put it in your gas canister. That means nothing to me.
Yeah, well, here's the thing for you. Here's a pickle for you, knowing one. You know what I mean? And I love how Sean loves this thing so much that he keeps bringing it up.
I'm telling you, it's so good. It's like when you said it like 3 times in a row, he was just like. I know it's a podcast. I made a very excited face, but like he was so excited about the title. It was like he fucking loves this. It's so dumb. A pickle for the knowing one. I don't even care what pickles meant then, what like term or definition that meant back in the day. It's fucking ridiculous. Even if it meant that you're the smartest guy on the block, you're the pickle on the block.
It does sound like a film major who's a fan of like Wes Anderson films, and he's like, this is gonna be my first big break. A pickle for the knowing one.
Yeah,
and that's what he titles his 15-minute film.
Yeah. Oh my God. I would like to say openly that I'm gonna invite this sort of ammo. I truthfully did not know pickles were cucumbers until I was like 20 years old.
Oh, for sure, man. I did not know that till at least high school, where they're like, well, you know how we get pickles.
I was standing
I don't fucking know.
I was like off the fucking pickle tree. Yes. I remember we were in Justin's kitchen and he goes, hey, do you want a pickle? And I was like, no, I don't like pickles. Or like, no, I don't want a pickle. And he goes, well, they're just like cucumbers. Like, you like cucumbers. And I was like, no. And then like 5 full years later, I was like, oh my God, they're just fucking cucumbers. Jesus Christ. They've been cucumbers. It's like they've been cucumbers the whole time. Again, we'll bring Scooby-Doo back into it. Like the mask came off and I was like, cucumbers the whole time. Oh,
if these menacing kids didn't find out I'd be a cucumber all this time. Jesus.
I had the opposite.
I've gotten away with the pickle scheme.
I had the opposite thing happen to me, actually, KY. It's funny. I remember I was a little kid, and someone was trying to get me to eat a bologna sandwich. And I fucking hate bologna to this day. Bologna can suck my fucking
They can. Bologna can go fly a fucking kite. That's true. Yeah.
Bologna and peanut butter.
Yeah.
What?
I knew it. I knew I could say something.
Pause. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, that's a very polarizing combination. So Justin hates bologna.
All right. So, anyways, I was a little kid. Someone was trying to get me to eat bologna, and the common like adult tricks, like, well, I don't like bologna. And I don't. And it's true to this day. So, like, I was telling the fucking truth back then, too. You know what I mean? She was like, well, a bologna's the same thing as a hot dog. And I was like, wait a minute.
You son of a bitch.
And they somehow they made a compelling point because it's the same color as a hot dog, right?
Yeah.
It's the same consistency as a hot dog. But I remember specifically thinking, like, hot dogs don't taste like bologna. But maybe when you flatten a hot dog out, like bologna. And I was like, I was literally like, all right, touche, motherfucker. So I ate this bologna sandwich and I hated it. And then for years afterwards, I would not eat hot dogs because I thought they taste like bologna.
So instead of including a food, you excluded a food because it was associated with bologna.
Yeah,
Hot dogs are here? Get the fuck out of here.
Get that
Fuck me
bologna
out of Memorial
bullshit
Day
out of
hot
my
dog.
face.
They fucked me out of Memorial Day hot dogs for at least a decade until I figured out that adult was full of shit.
I can see someone trying to serve Justin hot dogs, and then he literally smacks the plate away again. Get that out of here.
Get that out
You're
of
a
my
That's the fucking tubular bologna.
It's like he like slaps it, says, "Get that bologna out of here," and then the confusion on their face. Just,
But you know these with hot dogs, right?
no, these are hot dogs. Does he think hot dogs are bologna?
Hot dogs are bologna. I know, fucking idiot. Don't be peddling your shit on me.
I got a fucking statue that says philosophizer on it, so I couldn't hear you over my accomplishments. All right.
I was the one who coined the term cucumbers sometimes taste better pickled. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Yeah, and I'm the one
Here's the
idiot
thing.
in town
Here's
square
the
being
thing.
like, "What?"
only fucking expert here is me because I got a statue. So you better go fucking take a hike, you fucking yahoo. Get the fuck out of here.
The fuck
Yeah.
out.
Nobody. What a nobody.
Okay, so Timothy Dexter, born in Massachusetts, dropped out when he was real young, became a leather guy, married a fucking widow, got some money from her, made some really bad investments that turned out in his favor. He told everyone his wife was dead, said that the actual person walking around his house was a ghost, faked his own death, didn't like the way his wife was mourning, jumped out of the coffin, beat her ass with a cane. He also wrote a book called A Pickle for the Knowing Ones. That title, Sean loves it. He's even laughing right now.
I can't. He always laughs.
Yeah. Turns out Timothy Dexter was the Stephen King of the colonial era. That book was hugely, I don't know, it was moderately successful. Second edition, he actually included periods. The end.
The end. Fucking Bizarro Gump, man. Bizarro
God.
Gump.
This guy was, just a clown.